Here.
Welcome everybody, and welcome Karolina. Today we're going to record a couple of videos, and this is going to be a very interesting one. So Karolina is from Poland, and we met, Karolina and I, during our RTT training to become hypnotherapists. So we enjoyed practicing very much, and this is the reason why we started having these beautiful conversations together to then publish on our YouTube channels. So the first thing before we get into the discussion, Karolina, is that I remind all the people that are going to watch our videos that you can subscribe to our channel to stay updated with what we share. And also I invite you to subscribe to Karolina's channel that I'm going to put in the description of the video, okay? Help us grow because we are passionate about helping other people. We are passionate about how the human mind and the human brain works. This is why we chose to become therapists, which brings me to the topic that we chose for this incredible conversation, the choices that we do every day that make us then decide to do things or not to do things.
Yes, exactly. And hello, Sabrina. I'm very happy to be here. And I can only say that, yes, helping people, it's something important for both of us.
Yeah.
And we try to help them to understand the meaning of their choices, of decision, of everything that you are choosing every day. Because sometimes we think these little things are not important, but in fact, they can change everything in your life. So,
Yes.
yes, thank you, Sabrina, for saying something about my channel. And you can find the channel name on the description below. And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can seem that speaking about making decisions is, something maybe too many people are talking about it, or maybe not being talked about enough. But I think it's really something that people must become more and more aware,
Yeah.
because we are making decisions even for the slightest things in our lives.
Yes.
Even when we wake up and we stand up, come out of bed, and we have to just decide, what do we do next? Do I get dressed first, or do I go to the toilet first, or do I wash myself first, or do I have breakfast first? These are all decisions, and they might seem useless, but they are not actually, because they create patterns, they create habits.
Yes, exactly. I think, in my opinion, decision is the biggest power that we have, that we can use our own will, free will, and we can choose, and we are doing it. And we are doing it from this two perspective. We can do it from subconscious mind, or we can do it with our conscious mind. And the difference is huge, because we are talking about here about the subconscious and conscious mind, and we try to show you the difference. And when you are choosing with your subconscious mind, usually you do it automatically. So you are not thinking about that, you are not reflecting, you are not focusing, you are just doing. For example, you are making the sandwich, you are waking up, you stand up from the bed, you drive your car, and you do a lot of things which are choices still, and decisions and acts, because you can't act without any decision. First, you need to choose what you want to do, even if it's, uh, saying something or driving or
Yeah.
eating, and it's automatically, yes. But from the conscious mind, there the story is different, because you need to focus on what is the best for you. When you are using the conscious mind, you use your mind, you try to find what is better choice for you, even if it's, for example, something what it's not good, but for you in this moment you are choosing it because somehow you prefer it more. And I think this is the very important difference. And when you start to use your conscious mind, the life is pretty different, because you can live with subconscious mind, with subconscious way of choosing things all night, all day, all your life. You can do everything in automatic way. I'm going to work, I'm preparing something, I'm buying stuff, I'm paying my bills.
Yeah, but at the same time, before they became automatic, we needed to pay attention. In the beginning, when we start driving, we needed to pay attention. When we started living on our own and we had to decide to go shopping for the food, we needed to really pay attention to that. So before everything, every action or every thought becomes automatic, we need to repeat that many, many times.
Yes, but it's also it's these automatic things are like breathing, you know. It's only how your body works. You don't think about it. It
Yeah,
just works.
yeah,
It works for you every day, every time.
yes, absolutely. And here I go back to a very specific type of decisions, the type of decisions that concerns our thoughts. Before
Yeah.
every action,
Mhm.
we have to choose between what thoughts do we want to pick. And the thoughts are actually the choices and the decisions that are shaping our lives. So it's not only about going shopping or going to work, going, driving or walking. Every action has got a thought before, but also about the feelings. When we choose what kind of feelings we want to focus on, we're making very specific decisions. And the decisions that we're making related to our feelings, the ones that we prefer to feel or to focus on, are then impacting, conditioning all the other actions, even if we're not aware of. Because if I choose to focus on being annoyed when I wake up in the morning, all the other actions, even the ones that are automatic, are going to be conditioned by the feeling annoyed that I picked when I decided in the morning. So this is also another kind of decisions that have to be outlined more and more, I think.
Yes,
Because
but
otherwise we are all the time doing things, living our lives without being even aware of how we are living our
yes,
lives.
but usually, I don't know if you can agree, usually it is this way. When you observe people and their issues, what they are talking about, it shows that they can't focus with conscious mind on their own issues. So they have these feelings, but they don't understand why. They don't look for the source. They don't even want to try to find the reason, yes, of these feelings. They just act with these feelings without understanding. And sometimes I think when I talk with people, when I try to help people, that they are focusing on one feeling, one situation, and they try to fit all their life to this situation. It's so hard for them to break this pattern and to focus and to choose the thought, because this is right what you said, Sabrina. I totally agree with you that being aware of your thoughts, it's a master work. It's not so easy. It's not so easy to realize that I can choose my thoughts. I can choose, and this is also a decision. Yes, we are talking about decision, and when we can't choose our thoughts, that it looks like our thoughts are, leading us, that we have no control over our own life. And yes, I also agree with you about this, as I said, this example of driving, eating, or something, because many people, do this without feelings. They just do. They just know they need to do it. I need to get up. I need to go to work. I need to do something. And they don't even let the feelings go in. They don't even realize the feelings and the thoughts. They just do. They just do without thinking. And this is something what many people don't understand. Why I can't change something? Because you don't want to see your feelings. You don't want to see your thoughts. You don't want to find the reason. You don't want to find the source of your acts, in fact. And then you are doing it again and again and again.
Yeah, because actually these decisions, I think that also they depend on the culture, environment. Let's say that we belong to the Western culture, and most Western people have decided to actually disconnect themselves from their true nature, from nature itself, but from their inner nature. And this makes them live their lives, our lives, because I belong to the Western culture. So I can say that I also have this pattern, this program, to just do what I need to do. Yeah, because I need to do it. Instead of saying, I choose to do that, and I choose to do that with joy, with gratitude, with awareness. It takes a little bit more time in the beginning, but then you enjoy your life so much better. It's so different, so different.
Yes, it's like, I can give an example. When I was driving, visiting my grandmom, I couldn't see the view, yes? I couldn't see the nature so well. But when I was going there by bike, so I had more time. It took me a few hours to go by bike. Then I could see so many things, and I realized it's so beautiful. These places, I have never seen them before, because when I was driving, you have no time for that, because you are focusing only on to go to the destination. Yes, and so we need to slow down, and we need to start to focus. Sometimes on the beginning it's uncomfortable. You don't even know what to think. You don't even know, is it necessary or no. You just feel so strange when you're starting to see things in your life in this slower way, when you can focus on this. Why do I think this way? Why do I act this way? Why do I say something like this if I didn't want to, but I did? And it shows us that really sometimes we are just doing something subconsciously, automatically. We are not choosing what we really want to say, for example. And it's something, I think, that can show us the meaning and the power of the decision, that we really can change everything if we only want. If we are ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are people who say, oh, I cannot make decisions. I need time to think about it. I need time to decide if this is good or not for me. But I would switch that thought, saying, instead of telling yourself you need time and you have to think about it, ask yourself, when you want to really change something in your life, ask yourself, how long have I been feeling this way, and how long do I still want to choose to feel this way and to live in this way? Because sometimes it's the little difference in between changes or staying what we are and staying in the same patterns and deciding that we are this kind of person that needs time, for instance. It's about asking the right questions to yourself. And this is also something that we can train ourselves to do. We don't learn, we are not born maybe with disability, not everybody has the ability to ask themselves the right questions, but we can learn.
Yes, exactly. And I like what you said, because it's a art of asking question to yourself.
Yeah.
You need to start question to yourself, not what others will think, not what they want from me, what I want. What I want. Do I know what I want? Do I really know what I want? Because yesterday I had a conversation with someone, and that person said that he works in the very tough conditions. And I asked, why do you work still in this place? And that person answered that it's a family tradition. And I said, listen, you can create your own tradition. And he asked me, and how about you? And I said, I'm creating my life. I'm choosing my life. I can create every day something new, because the family tradition, it doesn't mean that I must do the same. I can do something different, something new. And especially when you feel it's hard for you. So why do you sacrifice to this tradition if you can have different life?
Yeah. I mean, if the family tradition fits you, matches you,
Yes,
it's
yes,
okay.
of
If you're
course.
happy, if that makes you happy, it's okay. But are you really willing to
Yeah,
damage yourself, like your life, because it's a family
exactly.
tradition? And I don't
Because,
think that
yeah,
deciding to follow your heart, your passions,
yeah.
define how much love you have for your family, you know?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And that's why, now I think that, and now we can see that, and we can wonder what was the reason of making this choice for this person. Does he want to do only something to make his family happy, to show them that, okay, I will lead this tradition even if I don't like it? Was it his true choice? I don't think so, because if it was like this, he would say, listen, I work in this place, I love this. Yes, I love this tradition. But he said, it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to be there. So, and sometimes when we talk with people, we can't even notice
It's
that,
hard
but
to let
it's
go
something.
is a very nice
Yes,
sentence. It's hard to let go because it's so familiar. And if I let
yes,
go, I have to decide, I have to choose and decide something that it's not familiar, unknown, and it's scary. But
yeah,
instead
I
of making
can
it
decide.
scary, we can make it
Yeah,
exciting.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's why I think this. That's why I think many people don't change nothing, because they are afraid. They are putting themselves in this position that somehow I can't make a decision. But I always tell to people, you can always make a decision. You can turn off this computer, you can go out, you
You
can do
are making a decision anyway.
every time.
You know, when
Yes,
you're saying I cannot make a decision, you're making the decision of not
yes.
making the
Still the
decision.
decision. Yes, yes.
So,
Most
and
people,
this
yeah,
is maybe what you need, but it's also sometimes a slowing down. And it's not that you don't have to slow down, but if you slow down and you suffer, it's not a good slowing down, you know. It's just holding you back. It's different from
yes, and
take it
it's about
easy. You can do
choosing.
things slowly, you can take your time, but at the same time,
Yeah,
you are going to do things that are making you evolve and progress and become a new person
exactly.
every day. But if
Yeah,
you're making the decision of not making the decision, then you are slowing yourself down in a way that is not
yes.
serving you really
You are
effectively.
even not moving. You are even not moving because you need to move something to make a move. So I usually tell people, just make a small difference,
Yeah.
really small step, the smallest one. What is the smallest
Yeah.
thing that you could do today, now, in this moment, to change the things that you want to change. What is the smallest one? Not the biggest one, the smallest one.
Yeah.
For example, you can turn down the TV, you can turn off the telephone. Yes, you can, for example, I don't know, start to work out 5 minutes by day.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be enough for the beginning.
Yeah,
We can't
absolutely.
see the changes without any steps, without staying in the same place. So yes, I think I always repeat it to people when they try to, explain themselves, show that there is something more important. We always have some duties. We always have some situation that we need to manage, but even then we can make some choices for ourselves. So for me personally, it's not a good explanation when someone is telling me that I can do nothing. You always can do something, but it's your choice that you are not doing it.
It's your decision not to make the decision for yourself. Yeah. And then it becomes your excuse. It becomes your excuse, and the excuse becomes the pattern that you are giving to your life.
And the belief, everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this is going to be very interesting, and I hope that we are going to get comments under this video. Let us know if you're watching us until the end. Let us know what are the decisions that you have a hard time in taking and in making, and what are the decisions that you can just make very easily. So I'm curious to see what kind of comments do we get. And of course, Karolina, we are going to end this very soon. Again, I remember to subscribe to my channel, Sabrina D'Amato, and you can share also these videos that we are publishing, that we are creating. If you know someone that could be interested in listening and in watching this kind of topics and subjects that we are speaking about. So, and also remember to subscribe to Karolina's channel. The name of Karolina's channel is Mind Therapy, but I will put the link of the channel in the description. And thank you again, Karolina. Thanks for these incredible insights.
Thank you, Sabrina, also for this time together. It's really a pleasure for me every time to speak with you.
Yeah. And we'll talk soon.
Yes. See you.
Bye.
See you next time.